Life was normal once more on the island of Sodor. Trains were on time with no delay or fuss. However, recently, after my triumph over Shadow and his deceit, various sightings of a Japanese C-62 appeared. No one knew where it came from, nor what its intention was, but Sir Topham was not going to, sweep that matter under the rug. One August morning, Sir Topham arrived at the sheds. I know it's been uneventful, shall we say, since the demise of Shadow. Brandon has returned to his normal self and is doing so well on the main line and branch lines wherever he needs to be. I have updated the policies to arriving and returning engines and crews. Fuck! It took a long time for the background checks to be implemented. I agree, sir. We do feel bad for what happened. Brandon forgave all of us, Thomas, so we're good. Indeed, Thomas. We can't simply let that past incident get to our smoke boxes. Gordon is right. You all have your usual jobs. Hero will arrive in a few days' time. And Sir Topham had walked away back to his fucking office. Emphasize it, narrator, because I am the conductor of the poop train! Topham, once again, you're such a funny man. Oh, your wife is having another affair with Toby's fireman. God damn it! Narrator, just please focus on the story. Ah, yes, my apologies, Tobias. Anywho, on the narrow gauge railway, Mr. Percival was totally in fear, nervous that the bear or engine or even both would appear again with an intent of slaughtering the engines, slaughtering the passengers, and slaughtering Sodor altogether. The controller wheezed loudly, then Duke arrived. Sir, what's going on? Sorry, Duke, but I'm afraid I have to. Then Duke saw what was in Mr. Percival's mind. Sir, please understand we're doing our hardest to find them both. Just because we heard the sound doesn't mean we're going to stop now. Duke was right. Mr. Percival regained his composure, rose to his feet, and then Sir Topham had arrived. Mr. Percival, we're all greatly concerned for the island. This situation has greatly overwhelmed you. While I understand your, frustration, note that everyone is in great danger, not just yourself. You're right, sir. I am sorry, sir. My apologies, sir. We will get to the bottom of this. All of this. Sir Topham was absolutely certain things would turn around in the end, once they found who was behind all of this. Meanwhile, Rusty was doing maintenance along the line side. It sure is spooky. I don't think I'm alone. And indeed, Rusty's suspicion was Carenze in the shadows of the magic forest within the confines of the city of Saint Cephrees. Oh God, I am so getting off topic here. Anywho, Rusty heard a ruffling noise in the trees. Who's there? Fuck you, that's who. That's not very nice. Anywho, no one answered, then a violent roar echoed through the valley. It sounded like a whistle. The ground violently shook. The workman roared into the van. His driver activated the throttle, and Rusty rolled all the way back to the yards. When he arrived, Rusty was very badly shaken. His driver telephoned the warning, and all workmen were escorted to the psych ward to get examined by the utmost professionals, led by Sir Bojo Hat. Can we not, for Audrey's sake? Sorry. Anywho, Mr. Percival addressed everyone at the shed. Rusty is doing fine, but he swears it was the whistle of an engine or engine spirit, or even the bear that is alleged to have caused trouble and confusion. Please give Rusty the space he needs to recover from this ordeal. He just recovered from Dane's wrath earlier this year, and we will help till he gets better, sir. I wasn't finished, Duncan. Bottom line, give him his space till he fully recovers. That will be all. And Mr. Percival walked away. We must chip in to help Rusty. And find that bear. What will we do when we find the bear? We won't kill it. Don't think that's a good idea, Duncan. What? I wasn't thinking of hurting the wee thing. The wee thing is not a wee thing. I can't say it's an adult bear. It could pick you up and throw you into the sun if it wanted to. Or eat the coal from the bunker of yours. Duncan remained silent. Duncan, that was a great thought. What was, Dookie? First, it's Duke. And second, you thought of being there for Rusty. All of us. Duke was right. Peter, Sam, and Sir Handel did all of Rusty's goods work. Duke did his pasture runs, and Duncan with Reneus did the maintenance on the line side till it was completed properly. Why are you staring at me, narrator? Can't you see that? As long as it's not a half-assed job, then I'm satisfied. He's right, you know. Fourth wall breaking aside, the work was done without fuss. However, on the main line, Gordon was in a hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry! He was held up by a faulty set of points, and his express was 10 minutes late. Soon, he approached Crosby Bridge, then on the bridge, Gordon saw Mrs. Cow. Ha ha! Very funny. What am I looking at? Oh, Ginger, Jesus Christ! Gordon stopped just in time. In front of the big blue sausage was the very bear that had its roar very similar to an engine's whistle. A bear! I will settle this! Gordon blew his whistle only for the bear to whistle back at it. You're not a ghost, I hope not. But Gordon was wrong. The bear whistled again. Stay back, vile being! The bear whistled again and again, till Hero arrived. Stand down! I won't ask a second time! The bear, hearing Hero's voice in the distance, ran off into the woods. Gordon was shot. Hero was deeply disturbed. Gordon, are you alright? I am very confused and I'm feeling a bit awkward about that encounter with that bear. Because its roar is the same as well. As who, Hero? Out with it! As an engine I used to know. An engine I had a great relationship with. If it's that, Gordon? No! It's not her! Hero was becoming very defensive. She's at peace. Who? The bear? Then Gordon realized what Hero meant. Oh, right. Sorry, Hero. Thanks for saving me. And Gordon popped back to the sheds. Hero stayed for a bit before making his way to the station at the end of the line. At the end of the line, Sir Topham Hatt was deeply concerned. Why would a bear just... Sir, I know it sounds outrageous. Maybe this bear is calling for someone. Or something. What do you mean, sir? It's clear the bear's roar sounds like an engine's whistle. Is Hero back yet? To my understanding, he is. He should be back at the shed shortly. Once he arrives, he can tell us everything he knows about the bear. The sooner he does, the sooner we can finally solve this mystery. Sir Topham Hatt agreed, and both united as one to ensure the safety of the railway. Elsewhere, I was in the moment. Who's that? No one replied. Answer me, goddammit! And a whistle could be heard. I was very surprised. Hero? Is that? Then the bear showed up. What the hell? I was brave against the bear. I don't know who you are, but Hero, is that you? No response then. Brandon, get back! Hero? No time to explain. Let's go! Okay, let's go! Hero and I charged backwards, the bear staring in confusion, but recognized Hero as the bear walked back into the woods. What does the bear say? Brandon! If you sing a, what does the fuck say, parody? I will ensure you're crucified for this! Hero, it was only a... Brandon? This is no joke. Hero, I understand your feelings completely. I know you do. But what I want to know is that the bear, is it after you? No, Brandon. It's not. It's looking to find the spirit of an engine I knew quite well on my old railway. It better not be. God damn it, Brandon. No shit, it's not her. Thank goodness she's at peace. As I was saying, then Hero trailed off. It's best everyone at the sheds hears all the details. I know of this spirit engine. And Hero popped away, leaving me in confusion and an awkward silence. Back on the narrow gauge line, Sir Handel was pulling slate wagons from the incline to Crovan's Gate. The slate was needed for Oliver's goods train to take to the Hardwick line. However, as Sir Handel crossed the viaduct, he thought he could hear an engine approaching. Who's there? Once again, no response. It's nothing. Let's get out of here. But Sir Handel was wrong. There at the end of the tracks was the very same bear. Oh no! Sir Handel froze for a moment, then he thought he died. But he didn't as the bear disappeared. If it's another ghost, I swear I will lose my shit. Sir Handel didn't want to be reminded of his own experiences with ghosts, most recently Afton. Ugh, don't remind me. Oi! Anywho, Sir Handel trudged his way back to the yards. The other engines were concerned. Are you alright, Sir Handel? It looks like you saw a ghost. Says the one who thought Proteus was the ghost, or Adeline, or Scullery's twin, or even Dane. That's quite enough, Sir Handel. I can tell you saw that bear. Can't you explain to us? Sorry. Just very tense. Anywho, I saw the bear. It whistled long and loud for whatever or whoever. 1 second it was there, The next it wasn't. One thing is for certain, we have to stop this at once. We tried all we could, but nothing seems to work. So far, Duncan. But that doesn't mean we will stop trying till we solve this mystery. Duncan had to agree, and so he and the other engines kept a close lookout for anything or anyone on the rails, or hell, even off the rails, or even, you know what, never mind. Anywho, Sir Tom was becoming concerned. So far, the narrow gauge engines, Brandon and Gordon, have encountered this bear. We can't neutralize it. We can't even, pet this creature. Not even gently rub its nose counterclockwise to tame it. Now what sort of preposterous idea did you hear that from? Sir, it was Peter Griffin. He did this. Why can't we? I am starting to think that idea may never work. All options are on the table, aren't they, sir? Yes, Mr. Percival, all options are just... I don't think rubbing the bear's nose counterclockwise will make the bear stop appearing. Mr. Percival had to agree, but secretly wanted to try the idea, given the opportune chance. Elsewhere, Henry was concerned. He backed down onto the flying kipper. The Vans heard about the bear and its whereabouts, but didn't know what to think. Henry thought otherwise. Well, we should keep a lookout, but at the same time, we should think of all the other possibilities, like, I don't know, how someone was dressed as the Yeti a few years back. Henry waited. When the final crates were loaded into the vans, the guard blew his whistle and Henry roared out of the key, with the kipper trailing behind. It was a splendid evening. The autumn winds were cool yet crisp. Henry's fire was bright and warm as always. Then Henry saw something in the distance, but he couldn't slow down in time. Oh no, it's the bear! The bear got out of the way just in time. Phew, that was close. But the troubles were not over yet. Henry heard an unfamiliar whistle in the distance. That wasn't the bear. Show yourself wherever you are! Once more, there wasn't a response. Then, wait, what's that? Puffing towards Henry was a large tender engine. It had similar aspects as Hero, but it was shabby and looked as if it hadn't run on the rails in a very, very long time. Oh dear, if you're, Henry trailed off. The engine blew his whistle long and loud before vanishing into the night. Henry was terrified. He wanted to go back to the sheds, but he knew the flying kipper had to be delivered, and the fish couldn't wait any longer. Soon Henry was able to make his way with his deliveries, and was exhausted by the time he made it back to the sheds. He went to sleep, thinking of his encounter with the mysterious engine. Hero, who was to visit the sheds in some time, had the answers to all the questions of the many, but the sooner Hero arrived, the sooner they would solve the mystery of the bear and the mysterious engine. Days passed. Autumn was still in full swing, but the days were getting cooler and cooler. However, that didn't stop the engines from working their hardest. Gordon and Henry were chatting in the sheds. I say, Henry, you saw this engine? I did, Gordon. He was the same basis as that engine? Yes, true. Don't remind me of that experience kindly, please, Henry. Anyway, the engine and bear must be connected in some way, and yet we don't have enough evidence. You're right, Henry. We need to dig deeper on this. Gordon, if you're suggesting... No, Henry! What the hell is wrong with you? Ugh, I'd rather be stuck on the hill than you assuming very obvious matters. You're right. Then Sir Topmat arrived. Has Hero arrived by chance, you two? No, sir. He hasn't yet. Other than the other night, I haven't seen him, sir. Hero is the only way we know about this bear, and if it's connected to this ghost engine or not. And lately, as is, we have had too many close encounters with each of them. I advise we stay careful as much as possible. They could pose a serious criminal threat. Sir Topmat walked away, leaving Henry and Gordon with much to think about. Back on the narrow gauge line, Duke was taking an evening pasture service to Crovan's Gate to connect with Duck's pasture train to the Little Western. It was a beautiful evening. The autumn winds were cooler than ever, and the trees lightly howled as Duke continued his way. He thought he could hear a whistle in the distance. Show yourself, you silly bear. No more games. The bear was nowhere in sight. Okay, now you have me intrigued. Once more, the bear didn't reply. Duke was very confused as me made his way to the station at the end of the line. At the end of the line, Duck was waiting for the teacher of the school of Gangham when he arrived at the platform. Duck, thank goodness you're here. Yes, I am. Did you hear something? I heard that whistle sound again. Did you see the bear? No, I wish I did, but that blasted bear wasn't in sight. Oh dear, that would never suit his grace. There are two ways of approaching this. The Great Western Way or the wrong way. You took the words out of my mouth, Duke. I knew you were going to say that, chuckled Duke. And he made his way to the sheds, leaving an embarrassed Duck, far-arsed to think about the conversation he just had and the many turbines that roar across Sodor each and every day. Oh dear, another encounter? And this time Duke? Mr. Percival, I didn't see the bear. I heard it, but when I was taking my train, I couldn't see it anywhere. It's more or less playing mind games with us now, Duke. Look, I know the bear has been an ordeal to many. Let's get some rest and come up with a solution in the morning. And so the engines all drifted off to sleep. However, that night, the yards of Kronk Station were quiet. That soon changed, however. The ghostly engine appeared, thundering along the main line, blowing its whistle at the loudest pitch possible. Percy was taking the mail and was making his way back to the sheds when, a beautiful evening, what could go wrong? Then Percy saw and heard the sight approaching him. The ghostly engine was puffing towards Percy on the same line. Oh no, not you again! Percy shut his eyes, preparing for the worst. His driver and fireman said their goodbyes as they closed their eyes, preparing for the end. Then Percy opened his eyes. The engine had vanished into the night. Percy was terrified, so terrified he couldn't speak. His crew drove Percy gently back to the sheds, uncoupled the vans, and Percy tried to sleep as much as possible. By morning, all the engines had gone for the day's work except for Percy. He was too scared to move. Sir Tom had arrived aboard I. Percy, are you all right? Yes, sir, just a bit spooked. Percy, I heard the whistle too. That engine in no way is like, well, what happened the last time. I almost had a heart attack again from that experience. Indeed, sir. Percy, I advise you take today off. Thomas, Toby, and Oliver will do your work as well as their own. If you need anything, Percy, we won't be far. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Brandon. And Stratman and I popped back to the station. Percy felt at ease now. He closed his eyes and drifted onto a peaceful sleep. It was evening by the time all the engines come back to the sheds. Everyone had more questions. Questions, they had more and more questions than answers. Who is this bear? Is that engine a joke? Are they one and the same? Are they playing mind games with us? Or trying to scare us away with their tricks? Perhaps they're trying to find peace together, or trying to tell us a warning of what's to come, or warning us of a danger imminent to us. Then Sir Tom had arrived. As you know, you all have many concerns, questions, and comments about the recent activity that has caused great concern to us all on the island. However, I am pleased to tell you that Hero will be at Croven's Gate tomorrow. He'll be here to tell all of us our concerns regarding this engine, the bear, and its origins. Please be courteous, as this matter goes way, way back, I was told. How far back, sir? Ask Hero that, or I will assure you will be repainted blue. Now, good evening. And Stratman stressfully walked away. He needs a beer, don't you agree? Now, Thomas, we can't promote drinking for our controller. Now, there's stress relievers that can help once this ordeal is over with. Edward is right, Thomas. You're a silly engine. Everyone had to laugh. Just because Thomas suggested something does not mean it will happen, I said. Brandon is quite right. We should focus on the task at hand, Edward responded. Agreed. Amen. Of course. All right. Duly noted. Oh dear. Seriously, Doc, enough with the oh dears, god damn it. I can't help that, Gordon. My sentiments exactly. Oh, the dignity. Everyone soon settled in for the night and went to sleep, quite sure that they would be safe. But however, that night, when the cool autumn winds glistened and the leaves swirled around the tracks, a whistle was heard, followed by another one of the same tone and pitch. The whistles exchanged all through the night till there was silence by morning. All the engines did their duties as usual. Percy, who had his own experiences, returned to work better than ever and was far ahead of schedule on all his important runs. It was another marvelous day. The coaches were full of passengers, parcels, and other essentials destined for their intended destinations. Sir Tomhead was pacing the platform. 10 minutes late, thought Sir Tomhead, and yet still no sign of Hero. Sir Tomhead waited, and waited. Come on, damn it! But his anger and frustration got the better of him. Every 5 minutes, Sir Tomhead would take out his pocket watch. His pocket watch on this day wasn't so lucky. 15 minutes late. Bother. Fucking bother. Much time passed. and still no sign of Hero. Sir Chapman felt exhausted. "Where are you, my hero?" Then, in the faraway distance, a familiar whistle echoed across the land, and towards the station, gliding in gently, was Hero. "Hero, is everything all right?" "Yes, sir. I am fine." "You were 20 minutes late." "Faulty signal systems on the mainland, sir." "I see. That will be a hot-button topic in the meetings before Christmas." "Indeed, sir." "I am aware you know of this legend?" "Yes, sir. I do." "We will meet here at Crovin's Gate. The narrow gauge engines are more than willing to hear as well, as they have had their own experiences with this tale. This tale is but true, Sir Topov, and I assure you, it is quite an emotional tale." "That's understandable, Hero. Now get some rest. You had a long journey to get here." "Thank you, sir." And Hero made his way to the sheds to rest. Sir? "Yes, Mr. Percival, what's up?" "I just saw Hero. Does this mean—" "It means we'll finally get to the bottom of all of this. It's gone on for far enough." Mr. Percival agreed, and feeling all giddity, made his way to the narrow gauge engines. Sir Talmud stood at the platform for a little longer till Henry came by with his stopping service. "Take me to Wellsworth, Henry. I must speak with Edward." "Yes, sir, right away." Sir Talmud boarded Henry's train and popped out of the station. Henry soon arrived at Elsbridge. There Sir Talmud spoke to I. "Brandon, round up all the engines that you can. Hero has returned, and will finally tell us everything he knows about these, sightings and ghosts." "Understood, sir. Will do, sir." I rushed to tell everyone of Hero's arrival. Everyone was eager to know everything at once. "Express coming through!" All the engines were in a rush to get their jobs done on time. Sir Talmud noticed this and addressed this to each of the engines. "Just because we are getting closer to solving this doesn't mean we rush our work. The passengers will get angry, and they will laugh at my railway. I don't want that at all." Sir Talmud said bluntly. The engines agreed and knew that it wasn't a race against time to finish their work, but it was a race against time to ensure peace once more on the island of Sodor. By the evening, everyone was finished for the night. They were all at Crovin's Gate station. However, there was one absent from the crowd. I was helping gather the final entrance to Crovin's Gate. Then I saw Thomas at the top of the farm lane. He had ran out of water. "Oh dear, Thomas, are you all right?" "I'm fine, thanks, Brandon." "You don't look fine being stuck at the farm lane." "Haha, like Mavis?" That was a funny experience for Mavis. I mean, Tobias had to save her because angry farmers were being blocked from passing. "Oh yes, indeed, I remember now. It was like yesterday, and just get me to the water tower. I should not be long." I teleported to Thomas, rushed to the water tower so Thomas could have his long drink. The raw water was pure and immense. "Ah," thought Thomas, as he had his drink at the column of water. "Much better. Or is it much butter?" I said with a wink. "Brandon, for the last time, enough with the butter, man. Butter is delicious. Butter is nutritious. Butter is essential. Butter has all the vitamins. Butter has all the..." "Brandon, do I have to... never mind. Good boy." LOL. God damn it, Brandon. Kill me. Okay, are you filled yet? Yes, Brandon, I am. God, Thew Adams is so amazing. Yeah, I know, he literally is at Elsbridge with his passenger train. I knew we could do it, I knew we could. Okay, Brandon, calm down. We have to go and see Hero. The wait will be over before you know it. It would have taken hours to get to Crovin's Gate. Thankfully, thanks to my magic, I was able to teleport myself with Thomas to Crovin's Gate. There you are. Where were you? It took you long enough. Silence! Now, as you all know, we have had a ghost train and a bear roaming the island. They could be possibly connected to one another. Fortunately, thanks to the wisdom and knowledge of Hero, we may be able to solve this tonight, or even sooner than tonight. Hero looked at everyone. Hello, everyone. You're all wondering about these events and why they happened. I know the events are what happened, even after I was away in my hideout for many years. And this was the story Hero told the other engines. The engine you have been seeing is a classmate of the C-62. Yep, I knew it. Gordon, listen. The moment of truth is about to be revealed. He was a hard-working engine. mostly taking passengers and goods. However, over the years, he grew fond of a bear. There was a cub back then. He lost his parents and was captured by village people on my old railway. The C-62, named Skiruko, befriended the cub, who became an adult bear. However, while this did go unnoticed, Skiruko did all he could to protect the bear, even at the cost of his own life. So he was scrapped? Found out that the bear must have suffered a cruel fate? You're not quite right, Thomas and Percy. One day, Skiruko was able to free the bear, and it was deemed safe to do so. Both with their separate ways, despite the bear's pleading for the engine to come with the bear. Skiruko cited the fact that if he were to disappear, he wouldn't have had any other railway to go to. However, in 1986, things turned for the worse for Skiruko. Several class members and other engines of my old railway, even old colleagues, were cut up, scrapped. As more and more diesels and other engines took their place in those 5 years, Skiruko was taken out the surface, left there, and over time, rust, cobwebs, and even dirt and grime covered the edge. Our once prestige engine now was to await his turn to be scrapped. However, that wasn't the case. Did another railway find and preserve the engine? Sadly, Toby, no. I wished that was the case as well. So, what happened then? Hero was silent, but then regained his thoughts. A workman and his co-workers were on break. They read an article about the same bear roaring similar to Skiruko's whistle. It was then they had an idea. Oh dear. They restored Skiruko to his former glory, and enlisted a group of hunters to track and slay the bear. If they did, Skiruko would be preserved. However, while traveling through the beautiful autumn countryside, it happened. Skiruko made the ultimate sacrifice. You mean he burst his safety valve? Got shut up in a tunnel? Turned on the hunters? Skiruko derailed himself. Intentionally, he skidded against the bridge before plowing on his side. Steam leaked in all directions. His wheels were still turning. The bear was saved. But Skiruko wasn't so fortunate. What happened to Skiruko after the accident? Skiruko was scrapped 2 days after the railway was held as a liability for endangering passengers and crew members. While none of them were hurt, all were sacked on the spot by the controller at the time. And every night, Skiruko's spirit travels down the line in search of the bear to unite in the afterlife and be at peace at last. What is the bear's name? It didn't cross my mind till now, and... Yamataro. The engines all understood. Mr. Tomad spoke up. Then we must find both Yamataro and Skiruko and help them find the peace and closure they seek. Soon, everyone left Croven's Gate, and soon, all together, were able to find Yamataro. Yamataro, listen, we want to help you. Please, let's find Skiruko, and then they were interrupted. A loud whistle could be heard. It was Skiruko. I found you at last, Yamataro. My sacrifice wasn't in vain. I know it's hard to take in, but now it's time to be at peace. Skiruko, you may not know me, but I am Hero, master of the railway. Know this. You will always be a really useful engine, even in death, my friend. Thank you, Hero. I'll continue to serve the island of Sodor well. I apologize to everyone for the misunderstanding. If you thought we were going to get revenge or whatnot. Now, it's time to be at peace. At long last. Skiruko slowly faded into the night, taking Yamataro with him. There was a moment of silence for both bear and engine. Then Hero led the others back to the sheds. I am glad they were able to find peace. I am thankful that this was all resolved. Then Sir Topman spoke up. Well done, everyone. I am proud of you. You were able to stop and resolve a situation like no other. Once more, you are all really useful engines. And Sir Topman walked away. All the engines went to sleep, and days after, there were no more signs of Skiruku and Yamataro. Knowing that they were resting in peace at long last, the engines resumed their duties and got themselves prepared for the holiday months. However, reports surfaced of another magical engine and its owner, the legendary knight himself, Daggeron. But that's a story for another day.